man. Shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation.
DBN Nation, of course. Support DBN Nation. You hearing it from Floyd Money Mayweather.
It's Terrence Crawford, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
This is Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Hi, you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation. Woo! Hey.
Okay, look, me and Tom Brown like bestest of friends, right? So me and that's like my road dog. So he called me all the time. I call him. So what happened was I'm like, cause Tom Brown don't like him either. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't know nobody really like the for real. We just gotta put up with him because he's just an okay fighter. We just gotta put up with him. Like Derrick James don't really like him. Cause I talked to Derrick James too. He like, well shit, we don't really like this. We just gotta put up with him. So I talked to TB. And I'm like, TB, like, you know what I'm saying? How you think we can get his head? You know what I mean? Cause he just like mentally like he's a mental time bomb, right? So TB like, you know what? I got a good idea for you. Like, why don't you just let me tell my story. So I'm like TB. So he like TB. I'm like TB. What can we do? He like, you know what? This will really mess him up because he want that title back so bad. Just go ahead and pull out of it. Then what you do is you go buy your boots. I'm like, TB, yeah, send me a boot. I'll take the boot. He like, act like you heard your angel because you said that in the interview, right? So he like, shit, like act like you heard your angel. I'm like, okay, cool. So then he like do that, and then I'ma do that, and then we're gonna do it like that, and then he like Charlo don't like fighting in December. He always lose when he fight in December. That's why you beat his ass. So then he like, I'm gonna schedule that fight for you the day before the last day, and you gonna beat him again. I'm like, damn, you know what? I'm gonna go with that. Let's do that, TV. No, yeah. I mean, it didn't really happen like that, but it's a good story though.
If you know, you know. And when it comes to Charlo versus Tony Harrison, we don't know what's about to happen in a rematch. However, what we do know is that this was the latest press conference of the year. This was fireworks. I mean, they had me pumped up. I believe Tony Harrison took the press conference from the last time when they were supposed to rematch the first time. However, this time, I think Charlo came with the right energy and he left Tony with some unanswered question that he did not clarify. Now, what's weird about the whole situation is that Tony Harrison, at the end of the press conference, felt the need of telling Charlo how he's thinking or, basically just trolling. He stated, I could have basically told my partner, hey, listen, man, I'm going to pull out of this fight, make Charlo mad, then in December, come and beat him. He obviously don't like fighting in December because he always loses in December. And he was just, obviously trolling. But what was the purpose of that? Because Tony Harrison was the same person that said, I could have faked an injury. And what happens after that? He gets an injury. And what happens after that? There were no x-rays or whatsoever to prove the case for Tony Harrison that he was actually injured. Now, my question is, if you did have x-rays, why not just release them to the public and say, hey, for all the people that thought I was capping, yeah, I do have a cap on, but there's no cap in my game. So Tony Harrison could have did that and cleared the airwave. However, he chose not to. Now, if you ask me what I think about the whole injury situation, I told y'all in the past, the fact that Tony Harrison stated I could have faked an injury and then came out and had an injury and pulled out of the fight, I wasn't too comfortable with that. I mean, obviously I had a couple question marks, but the fact that he didn't have a surgery, there's no x-rays, there's no note from any doctor, it's like the salt water all over again for Manny Pacquiao. And if you didn't treat the injury right, you could now use that as an excuse if you do lose the rematch. Because he could easily pull out the oldest excuse in the book and say, hey, I had an ankle injury throughout camp. It never recovered because I'm a dog and I'm a tiger. Obviously, I had to hop in the ring with a lion. I wasn't going to pull out like I did last time. He could easily say that. But my problem with that is that why you didn't treat it, because an ankle injury is a serious injury. And we all know Tony Harrison liked to use his feet. He's not stationary. So an ankle injury is a serious injury for the people that don't know, especially in the sport of boxing. So why he didn't cheat it 100%, and instead he went the Manny Pacquiao route and just let it heal on its own. Now I gotta kind of side with what Charlo had to say. He heard that his sparring partner dropped him and he felt like, hey, I ain't ready. And like I said, Tony Harrison could have cleared all this up just by releasing an x-ray or going to the doctor. You know what I mean? But he stated the doctor told him he don't need anything. It will heal on its own, whatever. But like I said, I don't buy that. Even though I really thought Tony Harrison had an injury, or I was 50-50 on it. Now I kind of believe Charlo more so. And for the people that say, oh, well, you like the Charlo brothers, you biased. Nah, y'all biased. Because new media, we objective. We keep it fair for all the fighters. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, obviously, Charlo made more sense. That's why I'm saying that. Now, that being said, we'll see how Tony Harrison performs in the rematch. We'll see if Charlo is able to stamp his victory. Because obviously, on one hand, you got Canelo Alvarez, the same fighter who ducked Jermell Charlo in the past, and Golden Boy had to release Jermell Charlo because they didn't fulfill the contract. Canelo get judges to give him every possible round. Win or lose, they will give it to Canelo Alvarez, right? Meanwhile, you got Charlo. He can't get a fair shake. You know what I mean? That's how he feels. So I could feel the brother, obviously. Tony Harrison, on the other hand, I like his character. He was being smart during the press conference, you know, bringing up his brother and how he carried himself, Jermell Charlo, and comparing him to Jermell Charlo. So I felt like that was very, very clever, and I like that. So obviously, I feel like it's 1-1. The last press conference was Tony Harrison. This one, Jermell Charlo had us questioning Tony Harrison. That's all I'm saying. And for the people that say, oh, well, if he's scared, how come he's here today? Well, what I say to that is he had no choice. Charlo had a rematch clause. If he didn't fulfill it, he would get stripped of the belt. So obviously, it's a duh. He had to be here. He had no other choice. So the question mark's still out there, but we'll see in the rematch. It's a lion versus a tiger. Funny enough, the village I came from called Tigers, so I'm out here going for the Lions. I'm kind of portraying my people, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Lions only. I got to ride with a lion this time because I feel like Charlo's going to pull off the rematch, and I had him winning the first fight. But Tony Harrison was in the fight, and I respect Tony Harrison as well. So this was the latest press conference of the year. Man, this was one of the most entertaining press conferences of the year. So check it out if you haven't. The full press conference, I'm going to leave it in the description box below. This fight is sold out from all I know. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Hearn, obviously he's hosting a couple DAZN fights in December. He has to do better if he know better. So you already know, Charlo, they hating on his cheddar. People on the comment section just basically frying Charlo, but at the end of the day, what y'all hating for? That's his persona, and y'all watching. He got y'all tuning in, and y'all gonna watch Fight Night. So that's what matters. So if you're trying to get smart about a minute, subscribe below. If you're trying to get dumb about a second, don't listen to these casual fans. Follow Lunatune Boxing for the funniest boxing memes. Shout out to Dante. Shout out to DBN. Shout out to New Media. We the present, past, and the future of boxing entertainment. So subscribe below and click on the notification bell to get notified every time we post or go live, and to be continued on the next episode of Aki TV. Peace, and we out. Akis. Akis.